me just a second here. All right, cool, man. All right, Mr. Nathan Merrill himself, Vision Stone and Tile. So, I assume most people watching right now probably know who you are, but go ahead and give us your backstory, what you're up to
Uh,
right
well, right this minute, I'm sitting in my garage, which is usually climate controlled. There's vents,
Yeah.
but I opened the back just to make it look a little nicer. And I feel the humidity just like flooding like into the garage.
Oh, man.
So at the moment, what I'm into is just regretting my decisions to do that.
Hey, man,
But
we won't judge you if you close it.
it looks nice though with it open.
It does look good.
So yeah, yeah. But I'm a tile setter, a second generation tile setter, and I think, I think most people know this now, but maybe not. I was a pastor of a church for 10 years in Wyoming, so way out west. And while doing that, I was also still setting tile. So I've set tile since I was like a child. Um, Basically full time from around 16 or 17 on. So I say I've been tiling for like 20 years or so, but it's gray because tools were put in my hand when I was just like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a second generation tile setter. At one point, while I was pastoring, I actually also had a tile store. So I had a retail tile store. I had an installation tile business with crews that I ran and all that. And I was pastoring a church. So I worked 7 days a week for like 10 years straight.
Man.
Um, so that was crazy. And then I had 3 kids during that 10-year stretch and just got burnt out on all of that. And now I'm just back to just me setting tile and I don't know, hanging out.
Right on, man. I see you got a cool mosaic going on in the background there.
Yeah, that's the one I just posted earlier on my stories and stuff. It's
Yeah,
it's
wow.
fun.
It's much larger
Yeah,
than
it's
I thought it was.
it's like 3 feet wide. Did I lose you?
You got a little robot there for a second. So
Okay. Yeah,
about
it's
three.
like, yeah, 3 feet wide and like 2 feet deep. So it's not huge, but it it's made to fit a very specific space in a secondary bathroom. So I had
Shoot.
the proportions were good. So I'm kind of I'm on the other side of the house. My router is on the other side of the house,
Oh, this is for
which
your house?
yes, which
Oh,
could
cool.
be no, this isn't for my house. This is for a client.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm saying right now I'm currently on the opposite side of my house where the router is.
Mm-hmm. Dang it. Dang it. I'm sorry. We lost you. You froze for a second there.
What was I saying?
The router's on the other side of the house.
Yeah, well, that's the problem that we have here. Um, I could I could risk it. I could walk through my basement and try and sit down over there where I'm closer to the router. Should I give that a shot?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go for it. Why not?
You think? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Oh, you're talking. I mean, I got it when you said should I walk, but when it was all breaking up, I thought you were talking about like a router, like a router, the tool.
No, no, my internet router. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna take this off a tripod here. I'm real professional at this.
It's all good, man. I'm just
I
out
thought
here.
the signal.
I'm just swinging on a swing. I don't have a fancy
Yeah,
microphone or
I thought the
headphones.
signal would have been good enough, but maybe not. So we'll just come over here. All right, this should work out better over here. How's that?
You're clean and clear, brother.
Okay, cool. So StreamYard, does this make us live on Instagram and YouTube at the same time?
It does, yeah. And then it sends it directly to YouTube when it's done. So
Okay, cool.
free up,
Nice,
uploads on its own or whatever automatically.
nice,
Words.
nice.
Yeah,
So
pretty neat.
how do your podcasts typically go? What do you guys like to, what's the general vibe of the podcast? Do you guys just hang out, or do you jump into topics, or how do you do it?
Man, just all over the place, nothing in particular, always about tile or trades, but we get off on tangents. It
Yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Um,
right.
all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So, I mean, we're here to talk about you and what you're up to. Talk about what you like doing, what you love about tile, what you hate about it, if you hate anything.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Hmm.
man, let's talk about the mosaics. Those are super cool, dude. You're getting them. People are buying them and installing them. How many have you
Right.
sold so far? I know two at least.
I've sold 15 of the, like, the kind of scenic ones. Am I?
15 of them.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Um,
You're
yeah,
cranking them out, man.
I mean, that's over the last year, you
Okay.
know. But it's about one a month, I would say.
Yeah.
It's fun. It doubles as a nice side hustle as well as being a creative outlet. Um, it's always nice when your creative outlets have financial legs. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
usually my hobbies just become like money pits. There is no return on a hobby typically.
Yeah.
But these mosaics are fun. It's an artistic outlet, and people pay for them. So currently, the experiment is how much can I actually charge for them and keep selling them. So thus far in the experiment, I've not found the upper bound yet, but I'm slowly kind of creeping those prices up, really with each mosaic that I make. Um, which incentivizes me in two ways. It also incentivizes me to do a nicer job and to become more intricate, more detailed with them. And then there's the financial incentive as well, which once the financial component is there, it also there's an obligatory aspect then too, because you become more contractually bound with the people that pay you. So it's fun. It's a fun game, and I don't know. I would like to see how far I can take it. You know.
Yeah. So when you're selling them, is it the clients that are buying them, or is it
Yeah.
contractors that are talking clients into them, or
It's been
how?
a little bit of everything. That script one that I just did is actually for uh, Schultz Design and Construction. It's the main contractor that I do most of my tile installation work for. That's their client. So that one they brought to me. All the rest of them have been for homeowners, clients, DIYers, a contractor or two. So it's across the board, you know.
That's cool. Any repeat customers like with the contractors?
Um, no, but
No.
there is one particular contractor that the very first one that I did. I don't know if you remember seeing that shower that I did. With it had the mountain mosaic in it, and I also did the pebbles that were kind of like a river on the floor. It had mountain views out the window. There's a big window in the shower. Anyways, it was kind of cool. It got a lot of traction via social media, and a lot of people saw it. That particular contractor is a close friend of mine, and he flew me, not flew me. He brought me out to Wyoming and let me stay in a camper trailer on his property where he was building that home. It was his personal home.
Yeah.
So that was the very first one that I did, and we went all out in that shower. I mean, the shower is really something. And that if I will have a repeat client, it'll probably be him because he would like to do another project like that for one of his clients down the road.
Yeah.
So
So that was his design, and he brought you in to execute it, or did you guys kind of collaborate on the idea?
yeah, we collaborated through the process as we went. Um, for a minute there, it was a bit of contention between me and him because he said that the Teton idea was his, and I will maintain until I die that it wasn't. But which is fine. We're close friends. He's just like, what do you mean? That was my idea. And I'm like, okay, if you think so. I mean, I've got pictures of me drawing it on the ground and making it. I got the video. I got all of it, you know. But it's whatever. I'm being a little facetious because it really is not in my system at all. But that was the very first one that we did, and then so many people were like, "Man, that's really cool." That I was like, maybe I should try and make one and see if someone wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Um, so, and it's so early in this process too. 15 is not a lot. You know what I mean? For that to
Yeah.
be,
Yeah. I
for
didn't
me
realize
to,
you've been at it for a year. I thought you just started making these like a few months ago.
no, I've made one of Yosemite. I've done one of the Grand Tetons. I did one of Maroon Bells. I did one of Mount Fuji. Um, I did probably 10 or 12 actually of the Tetons so far. That one's the one that people buy the most. Um, and then I have the big giant bonsai tree that I'm still it's sitting in my garage. Eventually someone will buy that one too.
How big is that?
Um, that one is 4 feet wide by 3 feet tall, so 12 square feet.
Cool.
Um, that'll be on, I envision that in some sort of feature wall. It would be best if it had directional lighting to highlight it and um, bring some depth into it. Design is tough, especially for people that are artistically inclined like I am, because it's tough. I have to see the pieces that I make then go into the hands of contractors of all of varying sorts of capacity of skill set. You know what I mean? Like, so one of them, the second one I ever sold, I saw some pictures of it and it was like, I can't show this to anyone. I didn't tell them that.
Wasn't going to help you
Um,
sell any extra
it,
anymore.
it, was- right. And they paid good money for it too.
Yeah.
But since then, though, I've been able to share and post some images of them installed from other friends and clients.
Yeah.
But that's a tough part of me making them is they then will need to be installed, which requires a whole other bag of skills. You have to be able to scribe tile and
Wow.
understand layout, design work, all that stuff. Um, my dog is barking.
You almost prefer to sell them to like contractors that you can like check out their work at,
Yeah, kind of.
when you're looking at it from that perspective, versus like great to sell them to clients all day long, but who's going to put it in?
Right. Yeah, it's a problem. And like on my Etsy store, I have like a whole page long description of tips and tricks and how to go about installing it. And I even touch on the scribing process and all of that, just to get it clean and tight, to try and help. But you know how it is. I mean, these are not cheaply come by skills, to do that sort of work meticulously and cleanly and have it look appropriate. It takes years of experience,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's tough. But the more of them that I sell, I think the more feedback I'll get from clients, and also the more images I'll get that I can pick and choose from to display to hopefully try and sell more of them.
Cool.
So
You
yeah,
gonna you do working on any custom pieces for your own house?
my master shower, the whole thing was a custom piece. It wasn't a mosaic, but that tile that I used was so involved.
Oh, bro,
Um,
that is beautiful. I mean, I love the way you
Thank
broke
you.
it. You broke it up where you had to by cutting the triangles. You made
Yeah.
sure the colors were all just perfect all the way down. It looks
Yeah,
incredible, man.
it's
Incredible.
hard. It's hard not to fall in love with your own work. Um, but I have done a lot of tile showers. Like I've done a ton of tile projects and worked with some really exotic materials over the years. And I stand in my shower and take a shower and I think, this is the nicest tile shower that I've ever been in. It's small. It's not big at all, but it's an experience. So it's like our mini spa. And it's also problematic because I spend way too much time in that shower.
I saw your uh,
I'm
story the
not
other day.
kidding.
Like you're a
Oh
45
man,
minute plus guy in the evenings or something.
it happens. I'm ashamed, but it happens. Usually I can keep it controlled 20, 25, but there's some nights where I just sit down on the ground and I just like turn the hot water up and it turns into a sauna in there and just I'm blissed out in that shower.
Now, were
So
you like that before that shower, or
no,
is it the shower that's
no,
making
it's the
sense?
here's the thing, our hall bathroom's not been remodeled yet, and this thing, so we bought a fixer upper because we have the skills to fix this place up.
Yeah,
And okay, this is kind of funny that the lady that had this house before us, she was a widower. The lady before her was a widower, so it was two widowers in a row. The first widower, her husband had this house built in 1963, and so they maintained it. And as far as like, how it is, you can kind of just dig and dig and dig, and you can put the clues together and figure out the timeline of the home
yeah,
through all the context clues. They
like the
maintained this
water book.
home. Yeah, yeah. So they maintained this home. The guy who built it was meticulous and he was a very good, handy person.
Yeah,
But when he died, it was so well built that it had the bones to kind of carry the home the next 20 years into the future as a lot of the cosmetic stuff deteriorated. And as two widowers in a row with not a lot of knowledge of the home, they just let a lot of aesthetic stuff grow. A lot of stuff became overgrown. A lot of little problems crept up. And then the second lady made some bad financial decisions. She put in the backyard a pool and a hot tub. Meanwhile, the inside, like the bathrooms are in disrepair, the floors are leaky. So she had like 40 or 50 grand of work done in the backyard with excavation work and a slab poured and a deck built and a hot tub, all this stuff. And like the inside needs remodeled. So
uh,
I was like, I don't know how most people would perceive that as, but as someone who's like looking for a fixer upper, I'm thinking like, I can fix all this stuff easy, but I don't have 50 grand to just go buy a pool.
yeah.
Like, so
But
I don't know.
so she maintained the pool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like new. She just put it in like 5 years, less than 5 years ago. It was like,
Oh, oh wow, okay,
yeah, yeah. Same thing with the
new
hot
pool,
tub. Yeah.
in ground pool.
No, it's not in ground. So it's like middle class nice. No, it's like lower middle class nice. But
Hey,
I'll
dude,
take it.
a pool. I had one of those Walmart, like
Yeah.
put the pool up yourself with the poles and everything in my backyard for 4 years, dude.
If you
I
know how
probably
to
would
chill.
I probably would have had it longer, but the fourth year I got lazy and I didn't drain it, and it
Yeah.
froze a little bit and got a little crack in it. And I noticed it was like half full one day. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man. I got it from Kmart actually. When Kmart, all the Kmart's were shutting down, I got it for like $200, dude. It
Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat it.
was a
Yeah,
deal.
I mean if you know how to if you know how to relax, you know how to relax. You know what I mean? I don't need a fancy
Oh,
what's it gotta be in ground for?
look,
I mean,
there's something special about falling asleep on a raft in your backyard,
you
especially for
know,
the first time, and then you wake up like, where am? Oh, I'm in my backyard. This
do
is
you know how much I enjoy that? Like I will go out, I'll get up on the deck. I got this big like Intex Intex like floating chair.
yeah,
I'll go out there like fully clothed and I'll slide off the rail on that chair, like onto the pool with my shoes on, fully clothed, just to lay on the chair. The neighbors have to like look out their back window and be like, "What's this guy doing?" Like he's fully clothed on his pool chair. But it is what it is.
out there in his garage at all late hours of the night,
Oh
tooling.
yeah,
This guy's nuts.
yeah. There's a on top of that every morning, like I open my front door, my boxers, and take like a big panoramic video.
I like those videos.
It,
They're nice.
yeah, it's nice. It's just a nice touch. And but I'm telling you, I'm in my boxers. Like I'm not kidding. That's it. So
Cool.
I don't know what the neighbors think. I'm not a noisy. I'm not obnoxious. But if they're observing, they're just gonna see some strange behavior, you know.
Yeah,
But it is what it is.
yeah. I'm not afraid to walk to the mailbox in my underwear.
No, I mean
It's all right. I
It's
know
all
my
right.
neighbors.
It's all right.
We're family. We've all been living together like 10 years here, so
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is.
it's all right.
But yeah. So can we talk about you for a second? Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Tell me about the process of your hair. I mean, in terms of the history. Tell me about the history.
So this is actually the second time I've had dreadlocks. First,
Really?
yeah, I had them when I was like 15, 16
Okay.
for a couple years, and I let some guy do them for me in high school.
Hmm.
Some guy who had dreads, and everyone said he knows how to do them. So I let him do them, and they were like, they looked. I got enough hair, so they looked cool, but like they were all different sizes. Like I had some that were like that, and then some that were
Hmm.
like that, and kind of like bothered me.
Hmm.
OCD about things, and I was like, man, I gotta separate some of these. So I tried to split one down the middle, and it just came one half just came off. So I was like, I'm gonna shave them. So I
Like
always felt
the
bad.
hair came off?
Yeah, the whole dread. It kind of like
Yeah.
I like
Ah.
cut it. I cut everything that was connecting, and it like slipped out.
Oh
And I was like,
yeah.
whoa. I was like,
Like
all right,
Cool Runnings?
yeah, yeah,
You know what?
exactly where he snaps it off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Yeah, I felt
freezes
better.
and it breaks.
So in that moment, I was like shaving them. I actually
Okay.
like didn't put a thing on the razor at first, and accidentally shaved like a big old bald spot.
Oh wow.
So that was fun in high school, but that was half my life plus ago, and
Hmm.
so this time around, I just got really curly hair too. By the way,
Okay.
like
Okay.
Weird Al
Hmm.
curly, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a fro, dude. It's a fro till it gets long enough, then it starts to
Right.
hang. Um, that kind of hair is super hard to maintain. I don't know, like to keep those curls nice, especially once it's getting longer. It's like more labor to keep it untangled than to just let it tangle.
Yeah.
And kind of like orthodox Jew curls, like just funnels. And I was like,
Right.
oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let it dreadlock. Oh,
Yeah.
I did have one dreadlock that was like hair wrapped when I was like 22 back here,
Okay.
and that was the only one. And I was like, whatever. I got one. Just let some more form, and I just let them all form naturally, man.
Hmm.
So it's been
They form naturally.
yeah. I don't
That's crazy.
I don't do anything to it. It grows out. My hair is so curly. It just dreads itself as it grows.
Yeah.
I don't have to do any maintenance to it. It's just
Yeah.
wash and regular
Yeah.
regular hair stuff. But it's been like a 6, 7 year journey this time around.
Okay. Is it then just a very practically motivated thing, or is there more? Is there there's an aesthetic that comes along with it? There's a practical application. Is there deeper motivation, or do you have feelings about it? Or I know for a lot of people, there's always like a thing behind it. You know what I mean?
Feelings about it? I mean, you know, I I guess it's kind of like a part of a way of life. My lady, I don't know if you ever see her on my stories, but she has them too.
Yep.
Hers are a bit longer than mine.
Oh wow.
So, I mean, your hair, if you believe in this stuff or not, but there's like, energy in it.
Hmm.
So I'm like carrying my journey, my good times and my bad times, all that. It's in my
Yeah.
hair. So that's kind of, if you wanted a little more depth on it, that's
Yeah.
that's that's about as deep as it is for me. Other than that, it's just kind of like I just like having them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe in that. So I think
Yeah.
some days I feel like the energy's holding me down, man. I'm like, man,
Mm.
I need to cut these. I need to at least cut them like up to my shoulders or something.
Hmm.
Get some of these old times off that.
So there's like internal psychological dialogue connected heavily with the nature of the hair.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I don't mean that like literally crazy. I mean just wild. It's a wild thought.
yeah,
Um, there's something to that if you think just in a real practical manner about it. Like for instance, when a lot of women have children, their bodies will go through such biological shock that it does crazy things to their hair.
Yeah.
Um, and you hear stories about people going through extremely traumatic events or traumatizing things and like their hair turning white, just wild things like that. So
Yeah.
I understand that it's just proteins that grow out of you, but there is most definitely connection. Energy, I think, is the most simplistic way of understanding it. Probably the most accurate language. We're probably not smart enough to really understand the physics and the mechanics of how those things work. So I'm not I don't want to. I'm with you. You know what I mean? I'm with you. I understand what you're saying about it. And furthermore, it's always been a fascinating topic for me because I've never really interacted with or spoken with people with dreadlocks that weren't fascinating people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just always like, wow, this is a fascinating person. And so
I hope
I
I'm
may
fat.
not be the most
Yeah.
tactful. I may not be the most tactful about how I go about it, but I'm always interested in having a conversation with someone on that topic if they're willing to have that conversation
Yeah,
for
sure.
whatever reason.
Sure. Yeah. You gotten any good stories out of them before?
The I have so many stories. The last guy that I tried to talk to about it, it was via a social media platform, and text does not always translate a person's intentions. I'm a very like not blunt, but a very straightforward conversationalist. But I'm also very picky with my words, so I try and always to word things like with my intention coming through those words very clearly. And I always want my intention to be felt first, and that is like I'm with you. You know what I mean? Like I might say something that triggers you or offends you or this or that, but I want you to understand that I'm with you. I'm not antagonistic. I'm not trying to. This is not a debate or a battle or a fight or anything like that. But that gets lost via social media so much. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to translate your own essence for that to translate via social media. Um, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole topic. But anyways, I asked this guy about them and he got really mad, like really mad. And so I tried to clarify and then he accused me of backpedaling on it and it just like spiraled out of control. Then the guy
Oh.
blocked me and I was
Oh.
like, I was distraught for like the whole evening because I was just trying to like I'm doing with you right now. I'm like, hey man, let's talk about that. This is a fascinating topic to me.
Yeah.
And obviously it must be to you because this is something that is a dedicated way of maintaining yourself. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it didn't translate, and I don't know what that guy's up to now. But as far as I know, I'm still blocked.
Hmm.
Unfortunately,
Interesting.
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
okay. It happens.
I'll add to me getting the dreadlocks. I was going through a lot of changes in my life. This
Hmm.
last time I decided to let it happen. I'd worked a job for 9 years, from 18, the time I moved to Nashville, up until 27. Um, Bought a house in that time and everything. So I was kind of like lost, you
Hmm.
know, like stuck. Like,
Right.
how am I going to get out of this? And that's kind of why I fell into the trades, started doing little handyman things. And it's also when I was just like, hey, I guess I'm going to let this hair go, dude. I guess I'm just going to let it do whatever it wants. So
Yeah.
I was doing whatever I wanted, and I was letting the hair do it too, man. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I was going through some changes, I was figuring my life out,
Hmm.
redirection. I worked a job for much longer than I ever wanted to be there, and got to a
Hmm.
point where it's like I really don't even know how to leave now. So
Hmm.
it was cool. It's good.
What were you doing?
What was I doing? I
Hmm.
worked at a Smoothie King, man, and just
Nice.
became a manager, and I
Yeah.
was running that store and their food truck, and just worked at all their stores everywhere in Nashville.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them, so it's an okay job. I moved here to do music with my best friend,
Oh
and
wow.
we were a duo, and you know, you gotta have a day job because music really doesn't pay in Nashville.
Yeah, it's tough.
So it's yeah, you know, just kind of like whatever. It's just like, why would I quit this day job to have another day job? I just stayed there. So, and then it just
Right.
got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be here, and I'm not really chasing the music dream, and that's how I got in the trades.
Have
But
we have you and I talked before about your history with music?
um, I don't think so. I don't know. Are you a
Yeah.
musician at all?
I'm not. My wife is a classically trained pianist. I'm a musician at heart. I'm just a very artistic person. Um, and along with that comes music. Like my love for music is just, I love music. I love all types of music across the board. Music is definitely like it's my language, and which you understand. You're a musician, but I'm just one of those types that I don't know. Like I have feel and I have rhythm, but I also have like severe ADHD, and there's I can find the right state to create things in certain mediums, but other mediums I can't. And music is one where I've just never been able to figure out that place to be to make music. And I understand it's a discipline, so you have to learn the instrument. You have to learn in certain regards. There's technicalities to understand regarding music, but I'm a feel person. Like with golf, I'm a feel player. With art, it's all intuition and feel. That's why I love music so much because that's is really what it is, touching on feelings and emotions so heavily. But when it comes to creating music, I can hear it. You know, I can hear it in my head very clearly, but it's just never been my strong suit. Unfortunately, it's my regret of life is that I'm not a musician. But
Yeah.
maybe it's a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, man, music is just it's so special.
Yeah,
Um, and it's because it's something that everyone understands. Even
yep,
animals understand it. You know, a baby that's been
yep,
alive for 2 days, one day,
yep,
they feel that music. You know, that vibration,
yeah,
and it's a language, um, and it's a hard language to learn.
hmm,
You know, when I'm talking about understanding scales and theory,
right,
and there's a lot to it, like understanding how chords are built, stacking thirds. It's like I don't know
yep.
if that makes any sense to you, but
So
um,
it.
you know,
Let me say this about music. I could talk to you about a lot of the technicalities. I just can't do it. You know, I talk scales. I was just talking with my wife yesterday or the day before about a classical pianist named Satie or Satie. I'm not sure how to say his name. Satie. Um, and he had a. I was listening to they're called the nociens, and there's 1 through 3, the nociens, and it's a certain scale that he uses for that music. It's a beautiful scale. It's it's like an A triad something. I don't. My wife explained to me what it was. And I can actually read music on paper. Like I can look at it, but but there's that mind body connection. And there's a to do it, to learn all the theory, and then to do it is two different animals. That's for sure. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
oh no, you're good. Yeah, I mean, no, you're correct though. I mean, you know, to sit down with someone who's already playing something, and especially not only to them to just tell you like, no, you know, I'm in B flat right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then you know B flat. So if you know a little bit of theory, you know, like the one four
Right.
five, or you know, if they're playing some simple chord progression, and
Mm-hmm.
you can maybe play a pentatonic scale over top of it. But to sit there and just maybe you're not playing with someone, just playing along with a recording and just hear it and,
Right.
and just know the scale and know where they're at.
Right.
That's like starting to really understand the language.
Right.
Kind of like the beginning. It's like hearing babies hearing words, but
Mm-hmm. Right.
saying things, but not really knowing what they're saying. You know, ball, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's a language in that sense, like learning to play, whatever your instrument is and knowing the theory, but also then again, it's a language in the sense that the vibrations that everyone
Right.
hears a good beat and
Right.
can't not like, oh yeah,
Right.
that's kicking, you know.
Right.
See the videos again, like little babies like bouncing to the beat, like it's like this little baby, but like what, you know,
Hmm.
feeling the music. Even
Yeah.
animals again, like birds, especially people
Hmm.
with parrots and stuff. But it's a
Yeah.
universal language, not necessarily that we can communicate with, but we can all understand, you know, and
Yeah.
feel.
Well, I guess it depends on the nature of the communication. Because I love when we talk about the language of music. The part about music that is the most fascinating for me, and that I get the most out of is the you embody the emotional state of the artist, and you're seeing the world through a particular lens that the artist is seeing the world through. If
Mm-hmm.
when they're composing or creating or making music or whatever it is, and blues is beautiful in that way too. Because it's just a riff. It's where's the language taking you? And in that riff, you're not even necessarily cognizant in the same way. It's I mentioned earlier in like creating art, making mosaics and that kind of stuff. Like I can find that place. It's whatever the business coach or the entrepreneur or the guru, the guy trying to sell you a book, it's the flow state. It's this, it's that, whatever you want to call it. Um, it's a place that you find where there's an emergent experience happening and you're just there, you know? In music, there's no quicker way to just be than to really tune in with music, you know?
Yeah,
It's wild.
yeah, man. I mean, I love doing this work, but when you're on stage, just
Yeah.
locked in with the band and
Yeah.
lost in the moment, oh gosh,
It's great.
it feels so good.
Yeah. Are you
Feels so
friends
good.
with Amos Houseworth?
Yeah, yeah. He
He's a musician.
yeah, he stayed with me in Atlanta.
Do you guys play together at all?
No, we didn't, and I
Yeah.
normally don't go anywhere
Okay.
without my guitar, but for whatever reason, I didn't take it to Atlanta. And I was really kicking myself because I'm like, man, I'm staying with Aim. I should have brought two guitars,
Yeah, he's talented. He's good.
Yeah,
He
no, he came through. We actually met before Atlanta. We were friends on Instagram, and
mhm.
he lived in Nashville a few years back, but I didn't know him. We have
Okay.
mutual friends in the tile community here, and he just hit me up like, "Hey, I'm coming through. I'm playing the 5 spot, which is like 10 minutes from my house." So that was the first time I met him. But he was playing the cello and the bass, and yeah, he's a
Mhm.
super super talented guy, man.
He told me that he toured with or opened for or some played with do you know Lord Huron,
Yeah,
the band? Yeah, I thought that was cool. I love that band. Um he said you'd have to ask him what the connection was there, but last time we talked about music, he told me about that. I thought that was neat. Let me try and plug this phone in real quick here. We're not really talking tile much, but that's all right.
it's all right. We'll get
We do
back.
that every day, all day, every day.
Come around to it.
We can just argue about we'll just jump straight to arguing about I don't even know what uh grouts or shower systems or
Shower boards.
yeah. Argue about slake times or I don't know what. I don't know. This stuff.
Well, we can talk about that for a second. Do you have like a preferred method?
Yeah, I'm a Schluter guy pretty through and through. I have been for a number of years. Um
I
I
mean,
just
do you like boards? Do you like to use sheet membrane on
I
walls?
use I use sheet membrane because I don't like the hollowness of the foam boards.
Yeah,
And really there's not any of the foam boards that I like that experience. I just like the experience of I understand no one's like drop kicking their shower walls, but I'm a very tactile person, a very visceral person. And something in the way that I am is like I feel floors when I walk on them. I hear sounds and like I can tell if like if you've been doing tile forever, you know exactly what's going on with that floor almost immediately.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with tile showers, walls. Like I've done so many walls. Like I just know the feel that I'm looking for. And outside of mud, which I'm not going to do, you really can't beat a sheet membrane over either a CBU or an MR board. You know, once it's tiled, it's just so solid.
Yeah.
Now it's intense. It's intense. It's harder to do it, but that's just my personal preferred way to go about it.
Yeah. Have you seen the Profilitech board?
Yeah, that one's been around for a while.
That board's
With the
weird. I've never used it, but I'd like to try it.
Yeah, that's the one with the light, like the neon green logo, light green logo.
Yeah, and it's got,
Yeah,
I don't know, the inside, it's like
yeah. I
waffly, weird stuff.
yeah, I've not tried it. I'm first of all, um, I'm not incentivized to move away from Schluter because number one, um, I I'm a brand ambassador for that company now, and that's not in my profile, and I haven't really made any stories about that, but it's recent developments and emails from the company. I've been working with them for a number of years, but now I'm a brand ambassador, so I need to go about speaking with them on the particulars of how I can use that language. Um, so I'm not incentivized to move away from them because of that. But long before that, I was not incentivized to move away from them because number one, I loved the product. Two, I loved the education resource. Like there is no better tile educators out there. Like Schluter really got the ball rolling when it comes to tile education. When I started with my dad, very early 2000s, like nobody knew what we know now. Not even close. Like just a shade, a fraction of what we know now did people know. Back then, we're just winging it with like everything. It's like uh, you throw a liner down and some concrete board up the walls, and you just run with it. Now there were guys back then doing it right, but the educational resources were just so scarce. It was very difficult to find those. The John Bridge Forum came along, and with that came a lot more information. People started to become educated. But now, with the advent of social media and the 2-day seminars that Schluter puts on, tile setters are in a much better place information wise than they've ever been. And I like Schluter because from day one, when it came to me trying to understand more about the trade, it was through that company. Like that was the resource that was front and center and telling me things I didn't know, you know, and pointing me to the TCNA, to the handbook, to all this stuff. Um, and so, you know, I just have no incentive to not use that product. I really, really enjoy the product. I trust the product. I trust their research and development, their team, the resource they have as a company. It's phenomenal. There's a lot of great companies out there coming out with innovative products, but it I personally don't like to assume the risk of a fledgling company just because they want to give me some product or whatever. Like I don't want to assume that risk. I'm not saying that they're not going to be around in 5 or 10 years,
Yeah.
but I'm going to be putting my showers together with stuff that is been on the market now for 30 plus years. So but that is just me. I don't argue with anyone about that. And I have friends at like every company, pretty much every company I've talked with, or they've reached out, or I know someone that is there, or whatever. Um, it's a big world, There's a lot of ways to get it done.
Yeah. Got a couple questions from some people over here. Mario wants to know if you've tried out the Vero drain. I don't even know what that is.
I have one. I actually have one on my shelf outside. That's their new. It's kind of like their more entry level price point drain, and it functions. It kind of has a bonding flange like their center point drain, and then it has a trough that you can cut down. You can cut it down to size.
Oh, that's that one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's much more lightweight. I don't. I've not used it on a project for a client, actually. I haven't used it. I'm familiar with it. When it came out, I did a Zoom call with them for like an hour and a half. We went through the whole thing. They sent me one. I have it. I haven't used it yet, but I can see it coming in handy for a number of applications. When it comes to a true wall-to-wall line drain, you have to manipulate those inside corners in a way that's not quite kosher with Schluter as far as the overlap goes to get your actual line drain exactly wall to wall without a little return piece on the side. What the Vario drain does is it eliminates that need for a little return piece, and it also allows you to do it in a way that's kosher. You're not stripping down that inside corner to where it's only like 5/8 of an inch overlap on that side edge of that line drain, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you got to cut it so it doesn't go over top
Right.
of your drain.
Well, yeah, because you're essentially trying to bury that last outside bit of that drain so that it's underneath your wall tile. So there's just not a lot of wiggle room there to get a Schluter line drain truly wall to wall.
Yeah. So what about thin sets? You use all set most of the time
I use all set for everything,
for
almost everything.
all your
Yeah,
tile?
pretty much everything. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah. The only other one that piqued my interest recently was Kiesel, because I had heard that some things about the chemicals and the additives and the materials that they make it with, the ingredients of it, that it's
Yeah.
perhaps a little less harsh on your hands and that kind of stuff. I have really bad hand problems. I have really bad skin and nail problems, and
Yeah.
it's ongoing. And it's the chemicals in thin set. My fingertips are completely dried out and burned almost nonstop, chemical burn nonstop.
Yeah.
So my fingernails are warped and it's real bad. This is funny. I get a lot of flack about gloves. Like, how many times I've heard people saying things like, "What are you protecting your manicure?" And I'm always just like, "Yeah, that's right. Like, got to protect these mitts." But the truth is, like, I have troll hands. Like, they're bad. Like, they're straight troll hands.
Just
I wear
hard,
the
rough.
yeah, and I wear gloves just to like try and help them out because this thin set is so just nasty on your hands.
I wear them when I can, when I think of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Well, what's even worse is pouring mud pans. I still pour a lot of mud pans once again because I don't like the feel of
I
a
do
foam
all
pan.
mud pans.
Yeah, it's just
I love mud pans.
I love it. It's so solid. But I tell you,
I like doing them. I just enjoy it as well. It's a very zen process for me.
yeah. Now you're speaking my language. It is very zen process. That is very true. And I'm a very proud tile installer. I like doing things that are not easy. I do a lot of very difficult things,
Yeah.
and
Want to
I
miter
love that.
everything.
Yeah, I got one coming up, 24 by
Get that
48
metal
more
trim out
miters.
of here.
What is it?
Like, get that metal trim out of here.
Yeah, I get that easy. I want difficult. Like, I want to feel the pain. You know what I mean? Um, and I do. I'm a decently fit guy, and I don't even work out. Like, I do push-ups every day, and that's it. Yeah, other than that, it's just me hauling tile around. You know?
Yeah.
Um,
Man, speaking of like hauling tile, I was walking my dog yesterday. My back's been hurting a lot the past couple weeks.
oh
Been
no.
doing a lot of stretching, more than I normally would. And
Okay.
I was walking my dog, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try to stand up as straight as I can here. And I could feel I was taller. And I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this is it. This is where it begins. Like,
Yep.
I'm shrinking. It's because I pick up all this heavy shit
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
doing this work, and I'm not exercising, I'm not working out. I'm not doing stuff for my back. And I think I made the decision today after realizing that yesterday. It's like, I'm going to start working out.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be like this when I'm old.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's inevitable for all of us at to an extent, not to an extent, to define. I mean, gravity gets us all in the end, but all things are cycles. So the point that I'm making is that we do our best. We do our best to prolong.
Get in here, yeah, goof. Hey,
What up?
There he is.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Yeah, family stuff, excuses.
Yeah.
You know,
Sorry
I
though.
felt I felt bad the first time I was supposed to come on. I had to delay. I had to postpone because it sounded like a dumb excuse, but the truth was I cut a tree down on Father's Day. Like straight up just chopped a tree down, like
Yeah.
fell it on my driveway.
Oh God.
And I was like, "Oh, this will be easy to take care of." And like a week later, I still was not done processing this tree.
It's
So,
it's tree work is hard work, man. I got a buddy. That's all he does. He's got a company, and I've helped him on a few jobs. And I mean, dude, it's hard work.
yeah.
Oh, it is. It
You
is. I've
guys
helped my
picking up
mom before.
logs, and you're getting bark and stuff all over you, and you're sweaty and hot and heavy, and your back's
Yeah.
compressing, and you're getting shorter. And
Yeah. Right.
Well, it depends too on what tree you've chopped too. All the dents of the wood and all that. I mean, there's lots of factors. I mean, I've helped my mom when she in Austin, Texas, when she would drop trees, and yeah, like you said, some of them you're like, oh, this will be no problem, and it's like, holy crap, you're biting
Yeah.
at it, but it doesn't want to go.
This was a very mature maple tree. This is a big,
See?
thick, heavy maple tree. It was crazy.
God. Well, at
Yeah.
least hopefully it didn't hit anything in your driveway.
No, just the driveway. I smushed a bush, but the bush bounced right back, so we're good.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
a
go.
bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to this Great Wolf Lodge. They
Oh,
went
nice.
and swam earlier. I just took them out to dinner, so we're just having a. We didn't get to do really a family vacation this year, so this is kind of our it, hoorah before the end of the summer. So that'll be
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, we took
So-
a real short trip to Niagara Falls just because same
Oh.
thing. We've not taken a family vacation, so we're like we got to at least go somewhere for a night. We're gonna
Exactly.
try this fall to go somewhere for a night or two, and maybe this spring we'll be able to fit in a proper vacation, but we'll see.
There we go. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
one last summer, and then this year my wife went and had one with her sister and took the two girls. They went and had a California trip with the girls, and then
That's cool.
I've done obviously with coverings and surface. I bounced around by myself on that airplane a lot this year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's nothing's like good old family time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to hop on, see how everything's doing. Have you
We
gotten to talk about your mosaics yet?
Yeah, we started. That's kind of where we started
Good.
talking about those. Yeah. Yeah.
So right now you're still selling the one that's kind of like the bonsai tree replication. Is that what you're on right now or selling?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that one's done. It's just chilling. That one's been done for a while. I'm just waiting on
Mhm.
someone to buy that one. I mean, I'm always making one, and they're either commissions or purchased pieces, or it's just something I want to make that I then just like store, and
Yeah.
I'll show it on my Instagram every once in a while and try and catch a bite or get someone to get pique their interest or whatever.
So what sparked the Rockstar Award that you got from Coverings? Was that the mosaics that or did they specify, or just you?
No. So that award, if you read the description, it's an emerging leaders award for people under
awesome.
35.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I didn't, it wasn't on my radar. You know what I mean? A friend, Shannon, you guys know Shannon Huffstickler, with Schluter Systems?
Yeah.
She nominated me. I didn't know. She actually mentioned like a year ago. She was like, "Hey, I might nominate you for that." And I was like, "All right, that's cool." And I forgot all about it, like for over a year, until I got an email that like I won a Rockstar Award.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's nice. I don't. It's nice. I'm an extremely self-deprecating person. I'm not really self-promoting. Most of my braggadocious things or ways of behaving are just either complete satire or just me having fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, not really, because my internal dialogue is nothing but self-loathing language. So the point is it's nice. It was nice. It was a very nice gesture, and I was very, very honored to get that.
Heck yeah.
I don't know where it's at. It might actually be. I don't know where it's at.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
35.
So you right at the cusp.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
that's
in
awesome, dude.
right under the wire.
You
Yeah.
had to give it
Hey,
to him. It was his
yeah,
last chance.
yeah. I'm like, oh
Right.
damn, I turned 36
Yeah.
this year. I'm like, just got out of it. Kyle's got time. Let's
Yeah.
go, Kyle.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm a cynic. I'm a natural born cynic, but I do my best to fight that cynical urge within me. So I don't want to say anything negative about it. I was very honored to have it, very honored to get it. It was very exciting. I couldn't go, which was a bummer, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was
Mario,
good.
Mario says they need a classic Rockstar award.
There you go.
The 36 plus.
The what?
Classic Rockstars, 36
Oh yeah.
plus.
Yeah. That's what they need. They need Rockstar.
For-
That needs to be like older. No, let's see. We got to come up with a really, really catchy. I mean, classic is good. Rockstar
Yep.
classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So you went to coverings this year,
I did.
Robert?
Yeah, I met Kyle out there for the first time in person, so it was good. It was
Nice.
my first time attending coverings, and
Okay.
then also got to go to Surface
Okay.
in Las Vegas as well, which was also my first time. For me, growing up in the industry, I've always heard for some reason Surface and coverings. I think has been around more and obviously more dedicated to our field and
Mhm.
tile. So
Mhm.
when I got they were talking different reps asking me if that was going to be at coverings. I'm like, well, I'll look into this, and I love it. I love them both. But coverings being all tile, and it was just awesome. It was a really good experience. And then naturally at coverings, there was so many more of us there. People
Mhm.
that you're meeting on this Instagram family it was real inspiring to see everybody. There was a few people that were at Surface, but not nearly the amount of uh, Instagram family that showed up for coverings. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to go next year. I just saw that the following year on 2026 they're going to be in Las Vegas. So I'm like,
Okay.
so that's 2 trips to Vegas right there. You got obviously Surface, and then you got coverings. So they're almost back to back, pretty close to each other. But next year's in Orlando, and that'll be nice. It'll be a good little trip.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Orlando. It's a great venue.
Heck yeah.
You typically go to them all, Nathan? You go to Surface and coverings?
No. I've only been to coverings once. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This year was going to be twice. We were like 15 minutes from the airport when the babysitter who we had lined up to come watch our kids, she was sick, like real sick.
Oh God.
Yeah. So we had to turn around. Me and my wife were going to go. And like, we were so geared for that to be a trip for me and her
Yeah.
that I could have just got on the plane and she could have went home. But it was so
Yeah.
just jarring and kind of just messed up our whole, how we were geared for this trip.
Yep.
It deflated me. I was like, I can't, I'm whatever, you know what I mean? So I don't regret it. I was worried when I made that decision, like that I would have regretted not going and getting the award, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
My wedding night when we got married, and then we were walking in the door, it was about 10 o'clock at night, and we were all just super pumped. We just got married, everything was great. We're gonna fly out the next day. Well, then we get a call like right as soon as we walk in the door, and they're like, oh, we canceled your flight for tomorrow. And it's at that time, like, money was so tight. I was working in the food industry still. Like, we were very excited about that trip, so we spent the entire night to like 4 in the morning on the phone with these people. And then finally they're like, get to the airport right now. You got a 9-hour layover in LAX and all this, but we were young, and it was still like, we're missing a day. We need to get out there. So
Yeah.
oh dude, but it was, oh God. I just remember being hungover on the airplane. It was the worst because I didn't sleep all at night. And I was just like,
Right.
okay, it was not a good start to everything. Let's just say that.
Right.
But when we got there, we got to relax. Of course, we got there and we had vouchers from her father-in-law. We were supposed to get a rental car. Same thing happened there. They're like, oh, it's for him, not for you guys. So then they're like, we can rent you a car, which was $900. And at that time, man, like I said, money was tight. So I think we had one credit card. My first credit card was like for $500. So it was kind of like, oh God. So we ended up renting scooters for like half of it, which was more fun. We had a blast. We made the best out of it, and I wouldn't return anything differently. But it was
Yeah.
just like, oh God, curveball after curveball.
Right.
So, but heck yes, heck
And
yes.
Yeah.
speaking of renting scooters, when we were in Atlanta for coverings, I rode those just little bird scooters
Yes, I saw
everywhere.
that. Dude, that was
Let me tell
sick. I
you,
was so jealous.
I think that is the best way to see a new city. You just hop on a
Wow.
bird scooter and you can go.
See,
It's
I've
great.
been close. I've been close to using one of those a lot of times, but they sketch me out for some reason. And now that I know that you've used them and they're legit, I need to try one.
Oh my gosh. I had this buddy, this he lived with me for a while up in the house over here, and he was a sound man downtown on Broadway. That's our main strip with all the honky tonks.
Hmm.
And this dude would get smashed like every night. And he'd ride a bird scooter and just eat shit somewhere. Like every night he'd come home just like scraped up. I'm like, dude, what happened? You wreck a scooter again? Yeah, I did. I'm like, stop getting drunk or stop riding them, bro.
say because they don't
Yeah.
have them in Vegas. I just got back and I'm like, God, it's because of that reason. There's too many damn drunk people out there. But I did see those little scooters, like the ones that Andrew rented at coverings, the handicap
Yeah.
ones. And I told my buddies, I was like, holy shit, we need. There's a number on that. Like that might be our calling right there. Because oh, dude, it was so damn hot when I was out there. It was like 115. I'm
Hmm.
like, this is unbearable.
Yeah, every time I see those scooters, they're like strung over the side of a bridge or like tucked in a
Yep.
bush or like hanging upside down somewhere. And
What city are you in?
I'm in Canton. It's
Canton, Ohio.
yeah, it's it's not known for being the friendliest place. Uh but I'm in the Rust Belt, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
I grew
got
up
you
in
got
Middle Sound, Middle
where's that
Valley,
at?
in between Cincinnati and Dayton.
Yeah. So I mean, you know the Ohio vibe. Then Cincinnati's a lot different than up this way, but it's close. Dayton and Cincinnati both have their sketchy element.
Yeah,
Um, Canton is just like it's all sketchy. Not all sketchy, but
all
it's real
sketch.
sketchy. Yeah. Then we got Akron north of us.
Yeah,
Akron's pretty nice. It's pretty sketch too. In Cleveland, Cleveland's a real nice city too. But all these cities they can be pretty
Yeah,
sketchy.
they all have their bad areas. That's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
how Denver is. I mean, we've got some areas that it's just I don't take my kids there.
Yeah, I've been to
So
Denver a lot. It's not the same.
no,
It
no,
you have
no.
yeah, there's bad areas for sure, but it's
Well,
not. The
we had
cities in
really
in
bad.
the east.
Right, right, where you actually got gangs and stuff like that. That's a different feel. What we get are a lot of like just drugged out people. Like we had a
Yeah.
few years ago that we would go to the 16th Street Mall, and it's a known thing. You go down there and shops are everywhere. But like these people would just get so drugged up and they'd start attacking everybody, and it's like, all right, I'm not gonna risk taking my two kids down there just to go to the cool place and see some Christmas lights. Like it's
gosh,
just
Tony.
the risk is not worth the reward.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. You can see the Air Force Stadium they got over there. They got the big old Air Force Academy down here. I'm kind of near
Nice.
Colorado Springs.
Yep.
So,
Yep. That's the big white building,
oh yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
They've got
Yeah.
over here. They got here, and it spans a massive amount.
Yeah.
I've done some projects down here, and you got to watch where you're turning in because the next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, I'm going into the base. This is not where I need to be.
Right.
So
Right.
you turn.
Yeah.
But, well, heck yeah, guys. I apologize for making it a quick one. I just wanted to sign on and get to say thank you for coming on and kind of pick your brain while I can.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's cool.
Ken, I hope to meet you in person very soon. Hopefully, maybe you're out, maybe able to make it out to coverings next year. Was that the
Yeah.
plan, or what are you thinking?
I think so. It's hard to say currently. I
Yeah.
would like to. I would like to build a family vacation around that because it's in Orlando. We're big Disney people.
Me too. Yeah.
It's just fun for kids. It's just a blast for the kids.
Literally, I looked it up the other day with my two kids and talked about it, and they're even
Yeah.
thinking about coming for like a day or two with me and coming to coverings. And they like all the free stuff I bring home for them, all those squishy balls and stuff. So I was like, well, hell, you can hang
Yeah.
out with me, and we'll have a blast, and then end it with a couple days at Disney World. So
Yeah. Yeah, we
Plus,
might do
then
something similar.
it's a write-off that way. You know what I mean? So it all works out, right? So it's a
Oh yeah,
business trip.
yeah. Business
So
trip.
it's got
Yeah,
it's got its wins on that too.
right,
We were
right.
studying the tile in the Epcot.
Oh, dude, we
Oh
went to
man, the
Cover.
tile at Disney is
We
next
just had.
level.
eh,
It better be.
I'm not kidding you. My father-in-law was
Very
joking. He was
expensive
like,
to go there.
"Yeah, some of the benches
Right.
and stuff that they do, it's like it's art. It's beautiful."
Yeah, I
That's
love
my
it.
father-in-law was joking. He was like, "What are you guys?" It was originally we're gonna have a pack of us go as tile installers. He goes, "What are you guys gonna be doing? Picking and talking about all the tile there?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
I was like, "That is
Yeah.
honestly, they got some good stuff there."
It's all
Yeah,
it's all epoxy grout too. If you look, like everywhere you look, it's epoxy grout.
of
The
course you're gonna be
bathrooms,
studying
like it's next level. I go to
See,
Disney just to like look at architectural details and tile work, you
yep,
know?
yep.
What
Well, I was at
tile
the
guy doesn't just go to the bathroom at every
oh,
single
anywhere
restaurant
you're at.
to look at, see what kind of tile works in here?
I did a
Yeah.
job I got flown out to in San Jose, and the last day the homeowner and me, he treated me out, and we went to the Winchester House, where all those crazy doors. Just it's crazy architecture in general, because she just
Yeah.
kept building on this house and building on it. But the one thing that stood out to me was all the original tile in the fireplace and all these things that I'm soaking it in, and I'm just like, see, that's the craftsmanship right there, where stuff is still lasting, and
Mhm.
that's you get that today if you put your effort into it. But if you're just slap and go, then yeah. I went and saw a bathroom this week where a homeowner, he said, "Oh, I got a couple pieces of tile popping out from my pan. I just need it repaired." And I go, okay, right there scares me. I said, I'll come look at it, but I go, there's a reason most likely why your tile's popping. I said, it's either it's failing, it's served its life, or they installed it incorrectly. I said, but I'll
Right.
come look at it because you're a friend of one of the realtors I deal work with, and showed up. It was worse than what he had expect. He's got low spots in his tile. There
Yeah.
is no thin set. It's all been washed out from underneath. There's the grout
Yeah.
had failed probably a year ago, and
Mm.
he's like, "Yeah, here's extra tile so you can just fill it in." And I'm like, "No, I don't do work like that." I was like, "So," I
Right.
go, "You need a new pan." I said, "Worst case scenario, your wall tile, sure, you could probably it's pillow subway. You can come up 3 or 4 if we had to, replace that accordingly. You can still source that material." I said, "But I mean, this shower has got to be 15 or 20 years old." So I said, it's not a car. You can't just keep putting parts on it. It's at
Right.
a
Right.
certain point, this is done and it's served its life, and you just move on. As a homeowner, it's an expense that's going to come down the road.
You gotta
Uh,
accept it.
oh my God! But he was just very, very vigilant. I said, well,
You can
I'm
always
just
get a
gonna.
fiberglass and clay.
Right. I mean, I'm putting up a
You
quote
gotta do
right now, and
something about it.
well, he's got a crawl space underneath, so that's where I'm like, there's no weak spots on the actual floor yet. So I'm like at the point where there's no patch job going to happen, no repair. So he's got like 3 options. He can use another bathroom and save up money, or continue to use this because it's already failed, and just expect to do some water damage when it's all said and done, which will be an added
Mhm.
cost, as long as it doesn't get to the joist. But otherwise, if he's got the money now, I mean, I'm not trying to by any means say, "Oh, you need a new bathroom," when you don't need a new bathroom. It's done. So
Right. Right.
it's crazy to see some homeowners and their unreal expectations and then unrealistic approach to things as well. Where I've had some that fight you on money, and then some like this where it's just like I said, the best way I can describe it is like I said, is like a car. It's like, no, it's not. Doesn't need a new alternator. Doesn't need a new grout. If you called me a year or two ago when it first started to fail, we might have been able to save it at that point, but
Mhm.
we're far past that. So
Right.
it's yeah, it's a fun thing, wild west being out here.
Right. Right. So, Robert, did you know that I lived in Wyoming for 10 years?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cody, Wyoming.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So I miss the West. I miss
Heck
the
yeah.
mountains.
Yeah, I love it out here. I grew up in Austin, Texas, and that's where
Okay.
did 25 years. I call it like almost like a prison. No, I loved it out there, but it was hot, humid, and mosquitoes. And then I came out here. My father-in-law was out here, and started to realize, hold on, there's places
Yeah.
out here that feel like this. The only thing I
Right.
will say, depending on the winter, like this winter, it lingered on so long, and then there's a point always every winter where the shoveling gets unfun anymore, and it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm done with that. But I mean, imagine in Ohio you're doing some shoveling too. So
It's way different.
yeah,
We get snow and it's cold, but the humidity, it does. I don't know. I worked out there for 10 years, 10 winters in a row, and it just got to me. It's so frigid. I mean, the weather where you are is slightly better than where I'm at. Not much,
Okay.
but
Okay.
where I was in Cody.
Okay.
Cody is just cold. It's so cold. I mean, it's right outside of Yellowstone. So
Oh, that's awesome.
the winters are just like frigid. You know what I mean? Like, and the wind never stops. Like, if you live somewhere where the wind blows over your MK101 Pro wet saw, like, you
Oh
got
my God. No
yeah, like
kidding.
we're like a 90-mile-an-hour gust, and like the
Oh my
MK101
God.
is a
Yeah, what's that
tank of a
weigh?
wet
Like
saw.
130 pounds.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it
that's
blew it over.
impressive.
Yeah, it blew it
Oh
over.
my
It threw. I had a stack of like 6x6 tiles on this wet saw tray. The MK101 it blew over had tile on it, and the tile was scattered like across the driveway. And I'm like, how is this house even standing?
Yeah,
So the
no kidding.
contractor is still there. This is in Clark, Wyoming. He had like a 20-foot trailer that it unwrapped like a Tootsie Roll. Like the shell of it rolled it across the field, and like just the shell unwrapped like a Tootsie Roll and scattered tens
Oh
of
my
thousands of dollars of tools.
God. That is
Yeah. So
insanity wind.
yeah, oh yeah, they get semi-truck trailers get blown over up there like every year
That's crazy.
between like Belfry, Montana and Cody, Wyoming. There's this like 10-mile stretch. It's called the Belfry Highway. Well, not the Belfry. It's what's that? I can't remember what it's called, but like every single year, semi-trucks just get
Just
blown
plop,
over.
plop.
Yeah,
We
because
have
there's
that issue here. Down there's a certain point, Georgetown, so it's on I-70 going towards some of these ski towns. But
mhm,
for some reason, that, like you said, the way that the wind whips through that canal,
yeah,
it's the most prone area where, and especially if you're not experienced. So like a lot of these guys, they know to either slow down or to not trek that way, and when it's that conditions. But then we get a lot of these other ones that are fresh, that are newer in the semi, and it just blows them straight over, dude. It's insane.
the wind. So the wind out there, like this is like high desert. You're around 5,500 feet or 6,000 feet, something like that. And there's the Beartooth Mountains, and there's this little town called Clark, and the wind like comes down off the mountain and just plasters this town. Like every 6 or 7 years, I don't know what the actual number is, people literally have to replace their windows that face
Oh
where the
my
wind comes
God,
from,
that's
because it just
insane.
sandblasts. It frosts the windows because it sandblasts them, which
Oh,
is
that's
wild.
insane. That's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, there's a spot
So
on my highway where I live, uh, right between the two mountains. It splits. It becomes another highway right there. It's called 285, and I take that from doing jobs, Conifer, different areas up there, Bailey. But once again, the wind whips it there. And the funny things is it's a lot funny and also scary. Every morning you'll see obviously 5-gallon buckets. That's no surprise, but you'll see people's ladders there that they didn't
mhm,
properly strap, and they're just mangled on the highway, and it's just like,
right. Yeah.
oh damn, dude. So
I had a
luckily,
tonneau
personally,
cover. Like I had a hard shell tonneau cover lift. I was going like 60 down the highway, and it ripped the hinges off of half of it, and it flipped it up. Now it didn't all the way come off, but it was a solid fiberglass tonneau cover, one
that's
piece, and it
ridiculous.
ripped it off the truck. Like it's
That
crazy.
is
So
crazy.
10 years of living there, and I was like,
Sounds like a bad place to live.
the mountains are gorgeous. The mountains are
Yep.
gorgeous, and the way of life is not something that anywhere else in the country once the mountains get into you, and once that rugged, independent spirit kind of gets into you,
Yep.
you just don't really fit in well in most other areas, unfortunately. People in Wyoming and Colorado and Idaho and Montana, they're just ruggedly independent people. And
I love like
so,
southern Colorado, northern Arizona.
yeah.
See, I want to make it down to
Cool.
Arizona. I haven't gotten to yet personally, so that's where I'm like, all right.
Flagstaff is my favorite small town.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
It's cool, man. It's just a cool little city. Flagstaff to me is what everyone makes Asheville out to be. Have you guys been to Asheville?
Asheville,
No,
North Carolina?
no,
Yeah.
no.
I've been, yeah.
I guess it was like really cool in the '90s, but it's still got that reputation, but it's not really there anymore. It's pretty commercialized, I'd say.
That's
But,
kind of like Austin now. It sounds like. I mean, the Austin I grew up in was completely different to what you see now. They built so much
dude,
more onto
so
it.
is Nashville. This city is a new
See,
city every 5 years, pretty much. But
Hmm.
Flagstaff is just a super
little gym.
cool little town, man.
Oh, dude, that's on my radar now. Hell yeah.
You're
There's a
close
lot of
enough,
towns
dude.
like that.
Drive down there for a day or a weekend and check it out, man. You and the
Fuck
wife
yeah.
guys love it.
Cool towns in Montana, Wyoming, Colorado. Like you've got like Missoula. Missoula's phenomenal. Like you got Missoula. You go down. You got like Helena, Bozeman, Big Sky. Like just all incredible towns. And then Billings is a little bit bigger of a city. Like all the cities out there are cool towns. And you get into
Yep.
Wyoming, Cody. Like Cody is just Cody sound. I don't know what Flagstaff is like, but Cody is a really cool place. Like there's
That's awesome.
so in Teton County, which is south of Yellowstone, where Jackson Hole is, there's the most billionaires per capita, like per in the country. It's a small county, but there's like a ton of wealth there. So
That's
it's a
crazy.
different feel altogether. And then you come to Cody, and Cody's like still just like ranchers and farmers, oil field workers, construction people. There's a lot of wealth in Cody, but it's more like it's hidden wealth compared to like down in Jackson.
They own the
But
oil fields. Those people are working it.
yeah. Hey, Kyle, is there anything else that came in? Because I'm gonna have to hop off here in just a minute.
No, man, not really. I mean, unless anyone watching's got some questions, give them a minute. I mean, how much time you got? You got to get off right this second.
No, we're at what, an hour 16 minutes.
15.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude,
So-
cheers, brother. I appreciate you being on here, man. Like I said, I
Yeah.
apologize, guys, for not being on the earliest. We went out to eat, and then I brought my headphones in. I planned on just hopping on at the table, and then next thing you know, my like 4-year-old was just like losing it. So the easiest thing to do
Right.
is feed her Netflix real quick so she can chill out. That way,
Yeah.
everybody around us can also chill too. So I was like, there it goes.
Where'd you guys eat dinner at? I want to know what you would have been eating on the podcast.
Shit, dude. Well, we had steak and ribs, but it was just a Cheddar's. But it was good. It was good. Even my oldest daughter got it. And then we got some cheese fries for appetizer. She was just like, I wish we didn't get the appetizer. I'm so full. But no, it was a blast.
Have you been to? There's a steakhouse in Denver called Stagecoach Inn. Have you been there?
God, it sounds familiar. I have not been there, but it does sound familiar. I'm trying to.
I think it's like it's the oldest steakhouse in Denver. I think it's Stagecoach. No, that's not right. That's not right. It's Anyways,
So I've been
it's
to the fort. Is it the fort?
No, this one's like right downtown, and
Okay.
it's
Okay.
well, it's like a block off of like right where all the big buildings are. It's right
Cool.
by like a bus station, but
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But it's like it's the oldest like bar / steakhouse in Denver.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna look this up then.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's so good. I mean, it's
Hell
it's the best
yes.
steak I ever had. Yeah, it's so
That's
good.
That's where finally my youngest doesn't eat it yet, but my oldest, like I said, she's finally getting the acquired taste, which is good for her. She's eating things that some things that I don't even eat, and I'm just like, this is amazing. I'm seeing her coming out of her shell, and it's, as a dad, it's making me happy.
Like what, like asparagus or something? Like
she didn't go that crazy yet, but
I love
no.
Okay.
There's just like little things like I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Avocado?
Today, well, I'm not a ranch eater, but even today at dinner, she was eating ranch, and she was like, "This is good." I'm just like, damn, okay. But no, for the most part, she eats salads like crazy. I wish I could, and I wish I do. But I eat salads on my like sandwiches and stuff, like lettuce and spinach. But for me to eat a normal salad, I'm a carnivore, man. So I mean, it'll come back and haunt me in life. Oh, dude, I wish. I grew up with my mom, and my mom was very. She had like parents and step parents that forced food upon her and stuff. So she was real big on not forcing food upon me, but she was also big on telling me, "You're not gonna like that." And it's like, all right, give me a try. And then what's like I'm doing with my kids, let them have a try. But it essentially tainted what I thought I was good and what was bad in the world. So there's some things that I still, when I look at it, I'm just like, oh no, that's not gonna be good. It turns out to be phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I eat like raw tuna all the time now for sushi and tuna nachos and everything. And then I show pictures of my mom that beautiful nachos, and she's just like, Oh no. And I'm just like, you're missing out. That shit is the bomb.
Yeah.
Are you a
I'm not a picky
vegetarian,
eater.
Nathan?
Say it again.
I said, are you a vegetarian or something? No.
No, I'm not. No, I'm a very like conscientious eater. I
Yeah.
don't eat. There's a lot of stuff I do not eat or won't touch, but I eat meat. I'm very picky about the meat that I eat, but
Yeah.
I'm not a vegetarian. You would, I think by most people's standards, I'm a pretty crunchy guy, or you know, what I mean? I'm a pretty crunchy, like granola, like
Oh fuck yeah.
yeah. I mean, I eat like a hippie pretty much.
Dude, I live off my peanuts. They give me so much fucking protein when I'm just at work. I'm just
No, I don't mean like crunchy. I mean like crunchy, like just. I don't want to word this. I do all the weird stuff, man. I juice and I this and I
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All the weird food stuff. You know, I'm into all of it.
Yeah,
So
well, it sounds like it's good for your body, though. You know what I mean? Because there's some stuff that you can feed your body that's not so good these days.
yeah,
So,
you are what you eat.
This is
Yeah,
essentially our well-oiled machine, and there's only so many parts you can replace on it. So,
right.
heck
Yeah,
yeah, guys. Well, I'm gonna go in. I apologize for having to come off, like I said, and joining in late. But Nathan, thank you for being a guest on here, bud. And thanks,
yeah.
Kyle,
We'll
for
see you.
running the show tonight. I appreciate it. I'll
Yeah,
be
dude.
back
Glad you
on.
made it.
I'll be back on schedule next week, so everything will go smooth. It's just, like I said, my wife kind of surprised me with this, and I was like, oh man, this is the only thing. Even after she booked it, she goes, I told her friend Jess, she's like, I told Jess I could babysit. She's like, so now everything got thrown into a loop real quick. So,
It's all
but
right.
we're gonna go inside and go make the most of it right now, and yeah, have some fun as a family real quick. So,
Heck
Cool.
yeah, man.
cheers,
Yeah,
guys.
we'll
Have
see
a
you.
good night though, and I look forward to talking to both of y'all soon. Okay.
See you,
Cool.
bud.
All right. Bye, guys.
Later. All right, man. Well, it's almost 10:30 your time, yeah?
Yeah.
You
Yep.
you a night owl, or you early to bed, early to rise kind of guy? Or are you like a 2 hours of sleep kind of guy?
No. I'm a free spirit when it comes to my sleep schedule. It really just depends on how I feel. You know.
Same.
I go to bed when I'm tired and when I'm ready, which varies a lot, anywhere from like 10 o'clock to like 1:30. Same thing when I get up. I get up between like 6:30 and 8, somewhere in there every day.
Yeah.
But I don't do alarms or anything like that. I just wake up when I wake up.
Dude, I've never done an alarm like in my
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
It's like if I tell myself before I go to sleep,
Yeah.
you got something to do in the morning. It's like
Right.
I put that little bit of anxiety in me before bed. And
Right.
it wakes me up, man. I get up on time.
I don't. So I'm kind of like I said, I'm kind of a free spirit when it comes to sleep. I don't put that anxiety into my head. Because I don't typically give myself those sorts of stipulations. I try very hard to arrange my life so that I can wake up when I want to wake up.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
and thus far I'm 35, and it's worked out successfully, relatively speaking, thus far. But when I am up and at 'em, I work very hard, and I will work long hours if I need to. But my thinking on it is when I'm sleeping, my body knows what it needs. It knows what needs to happen. Um, I don't need to interrupt it with an arbitrary beep, an electronic beep telling me what to do. So I like to just get up when I get up. You know what I mean?
Alarms never really work for me. I mean, I guess maybe you got to train yourself to know, but they always kind of just get into my dream. You know, it just becomes part
Yeah,
of whatever's going on in my head. Doesn't wake
yeah,
me up.
yeah. I'm not. They do wake me up. Like I said, I don't know. I've been living like pretty much the past 15 years. I just wake up when I wake up, and that's it. Like I'll
Yeah.
set an alarm if I really have somewhere to go, like catch a flight or a meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's nice being your own boss in that way, because I can do that. Now I get some people are real like morning hustlers. You know what I mean? Some people set an alarm for 4:30, and that's what really gets them going. Um, if I had to like grind early or grind late, I'd rather grind late. Like I can work late into the night like nobody's business. You know what I mean? Like I've worked all night multiple times. So that's within my wheelhouse. But getting up at 4:30, like that's not my cup of tea, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm glad to hear you say that because I look up to you, man. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't I don't want to piss in anyone's cornflakes, you know what I mean? It's different strokes for different folks.
yeah,
And
sure.
I just I don't know. I try and figure out what works for me,
Yeah.
or what can I how can I manipulate the variables in my life so that I can do what I want?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the mosaics too. It's like how can I sell these for more? Like
That's why we're entrepreneurs because we don't want to fit. We're square pegs trying to fit into a round hole, you know.
yeah, I don't know. I don't put that label on myself either because it comes with its own that label comes with all of its own baggage too, you know what I mean?
What,
Like
entrepreneur?
yeah, the hustle and grind mentality and all that. Like
Yeah.
I'm a workaholic like as a psychological impairment, you know what I mean? Like I am a workaholic because like my internal voice drives me to just work like a dog. You know what I mean? I don't need some guy screaming at me about how hard I need to work. It's like, no, I need you to tell me you love me and that everything's going to be okay.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I'd rather wake up to like the sound of the birds in the morning than like an alarm clock screaming at me. Because after I'm up listening to the sounds of the birds, then I'm just dealing with the internal dialogue all day. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny how vicious we are with ourselves and particularly vicious with ourselves and not be aware that we're that way, So I don't know. It is what it is. Anyways,
All right, man. Well, dude, thanks for hanging out. Love chatting with you. Oh, I wore my clean white tee just for you, dude.
oh, nice.
No
Nice. Me.
stains, no
Yeah,
coffee
yeah.
stains on it.
I mean, every day it's going to be either a black t-shirt or a white t-shirt, it's clean.
Yeah, but man, I love your stories. I love watching what you do. You're an inspiration to me, and I'm sure many people. So, really,
I appreciate that. I wish I could put my finger on why specifically that is, but because I can't, because the eye can never see the eye, I just keep doing it.
yeah.
You
Well,
know what I mean?
keep it up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
I love your stories. I love your morning panoramic video, and you're very zen. You got
yeah.
a nice voice to listen to. I mean, maybe you should do some audiobooks. I don't know, but
Yeah,
just
maybe. I was on the
whatever.
radio for 5 years.
Where were you
Yeah,
during your like
when I was pastoring.
pastorship
Yeah,
or whatever you call it?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Pastoralship. Yeah.
pastoralship. There you go. Okay.
I don't know. No, that's not the word for sure. I mean, but I like the
Oh,
word. Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Cool. That's cool, man. Well, dude,
yeah.
maybe you honed some skills there. I don't know, but
Who knows?
it's working for you.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well, have a good night, man. I'm just gonna end this live if you want to hang out for just a second here.
Cool.